Here's the truth. Most leaders, they're not struggling because they're lazy. They're struggling because they're drowning in the noise. 100 emails, a dozen texts, notifications pinging, drama coming from the floor, every urgent thing screaming for your attention. Noise pulls your focus in 100 different directions. And when everything is urgent, nothing important gets done. The leaders who win, they're the ones who have learned how to cut the noise and tune into the signal. I'm Chris Hunsicker, and this is the Dealership War Room. Leadership fires, 7 minutes, built daily, fueled intentionally, and delivered relentlessly. And today, I'm going to teach you how to filter out the signal and cut the noise. I promise you, there's not a leader out there today that is struggling with too little information, but almost all of us are drowning in too much of it. You're stuck in meetings that aren't moving the needle. You're getting blown up by every My Karma notification, every other app that's dinging for you all the time. And after busting your butt all day, you're getting to the end of the day and you're wondering, did I really accomplish anything? Or did I just follow the noise? Here's the principle I want you to lock onto. Clarity creates velocity. When you want movement, when you want velocity, when you want performance, it starts with clarity. And clarity only comes when you master the ability to separate signal from noise. So what's noise? Noise are those things that feel urgent, but they don't really change the outcome. Think about complaints without a solution, reports that nobody reads, those petty little dramas between employees, or emergencies that next week won't even matter. Noise drains energy. So then what's the signal? The signal are those things that drive results and build culture. Things like coaching your team, inspecting a process, spending time with key customers and stakeholders, or really dialing in on those metrics and making fine-tunements and adjustments to those few key behaviors that matter most, that drive all the outcomes. Because when you look at it, signal at its core, signal directs energy. So now let's take a look at the signal filter. And I want you to ask these 3 questions every time you come up against a task, a meeting, a problem. If you've ever sat through a meeting where you thought, man, this is another meeting that should have been an email, then you need to run the signal filter. Number 1, does this move revenue? And if the answer is no, or if it doesn't, then I can promise you it's probably noise. Number 2, does this build culture? Think about it. This task, this meeting, solving this problem, does this build culture? Because if it doesn't, it's probably noise. Number 3, does this sharpen me as a leader? So engaging in this task, attending this meeting, solving this problem, does it sharpen me as a leader? Because if not, it's noise. If the answer is no across the board, all 3 questions, it's noise. Cut it. If the answer is yes to even one, double down on that part. That's signal. Follow it. I was coaching a GM who was busy, right? Working 60, 70 hours a week. His phone was blowing up. His inbox was out of control and overflowing. He was constantly in meetings, but you know what wasn't happening? His store. It wasn't moving forward. It wasn't growing, and it wasn't getting better. Does it sound like anyone you know? Does it sound like anyone you've seen in the mirror recently? We ran the signal filter on his schedule, 60 hours, remember? Only 12 were signal. Some core coaching that he was doing, some process inspection, some metrics and scoreboard that he was keeping track of, and a little bit of really good customer engagement. But the other 48, noise. When he cut the noise and reinvested those 48 hours into signal activities, being relentless with running that signal filter, well, all of a sudden, the energy's up. The team is more focused and together. Profit goes up. And I'd ask you to please burn this into your brain. Busy is not a badge of honor. Focus is. The insight to action bridge today is simple. I want you to run the signal filter on your schedule, on your inbox, on your to-do list. Pick where you want to apply it, and then begin to ask yourself, does this really move revenue? Does this really build culture? And does this really sharpen me as a leader? Then cut one noise activity today and double down on one signal activity. No matter how busy you are, you can do that. Now, if you want to go elite, you want to really go, then really look at your entire to-do list, your entire schedule, and see if you might be able to find 20, 30, or even 48 hours of noise in your week. War room leaders, I will tell you this. The world is going to try and drown you in noise. It's their job. It's what they do. Your job isn't to be busier. It isn't to do more. It's to focus more, focus better. Cut the noise, find the signal. That is how you create velocity that matters. That's how you create velocity that improves. That's how you create velocity that builds profit. So go out today and listen for the signal and then create some leadership fire. And I'll see you tomorrow in the dealership boardroom.